Hey, that's my chair. Welcome to I Am Samson podcast. My name is Jeremy Bradley, and well, you probably know me by now. So if you've been watching my podcast, Marine Corps veteran, went to Afghanistan once. The podcast is for all veterans out there that are struggling with darkness, PTSD, anxiety, whatever it is that you got going on that is keeping you isolated, that's keeping you in that darkness. That's what I Am Samson is here for, to help veterans get out of that, and for them to know that it's okay to reach out to get help. It's okay to reach out and ask for uh, guidance and even sometimes prayer. Whatever it is that you need help with, it's okay to reach out. It's okay to say that I'm not okay and say that I need help. I Am Samson stands on verse 16:28 of Judges in the Bible. It talks about when Samson asked God for one more strength, one more time for strength to defeat his enemy. And that's what I believe all veterans need, is just one more person to say, hey, I'm here for you. I love you. I care about you. You're not alone. Um, Reach out to me when you're struggling. Just that one more person to say, you matter, and to say, I love you and I care about you and I'm here for you. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just being led by the Holy Spirit and just asking God to lead me in the way that He wants me to go with this podcast. And I know it's for veterans. I know it's for them. And it's not about being a Christian. It's not about turning to God. This podcast is about, hey, you're struggling. I'm here for you. This is how I got through it. This is what helped me. And God's what helped me get through my struggle. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to bash anybody over the head or force feed it to you. I'm just going to be here to love on you, to show you that you matter, to show you that people out here do care. And when it seems like they don't care, those people might not care, but those are the people you don't need to be around. You need to find the people that do care, that want you to get out of your rut, get out of your darkness, get out of that isolation that you're going through. And they want you to reach out and say, hey, I need help. I've had a few people that I've been wanting to interview and really dive deep into their story, and they're not ready yet. And that's okay. It's okay not to be ready to talk about what you're going through or what you went through any trauma that you live with in your childhood, with going to war, being sexually molested, sexually assaulted, whatever it may be. It's okay that you're going through that. It's not okay to give up. You need to keep fighting, keep pushing through that, and keep seeking that healing that you need to keep living, because you're here for a purpose. You have breath in your lungs for a purpose. Sorry, my allergies have been kicking my butt here lately. So one of the guys that I was supposed to interview, his name is Bryan. He wasn't comfortable with being in front of the camera interviewing, so I sent him the questions that I was going to ask. And with questions that I was going to ask, and he wrote down, he texted it to me, what what just some simple questions. Where were you in your childhood? Where were you in your first year? What got you out? Help you get through your trauma. So he sent it to me, and that's what I'm going to read to y'all today. And then I'll break some stuff down that he wrote to me that I feel like I bet other veterans out there are dealing with the same thing. And they need to know that other people deal with that too. It's not just them. And it's okay to deal with it. And it's okay to keep living with it, even though you're dealing with it, because that's not what defines you. You define yourself. So the first question I asked him about his childhood, asked him where he grew up, you know, um, where he was at before he joined, and this is his response. I grew up in a trailer park in Forney, Texas. Our family was pretty broke to the point of going without water and electric multiple times in my life, even living with our youth pastor at one point because we didn't have any functioning utilities at home. Life sucked. But I met my wife a week before I graduated high school. In 2004, we were married 9 months later. We had our son in 2006. I was living in Irving trying to go to college. We had no car, lived on the third floor of an apartment complex right outside DFW. We took the DART bus when we could afford and walked to when we couldn't. Had a pretty tough life. And sometimes that's what pushed people to go to the military. And some people say, well, you chose that life. Sometimes we don't choose it. Sometimes it chooses us, because that's what the only way we could think of to get money for our families. I worked for Wendy's and I Best Buy for a bit, but eventually, but eventually we couldn't make it out there and moved in with her aunt and jumped around between family members' houses for a while before joining the Navy with the IT in 2007. You little fart. Duke, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. I'm going to bite you here in a minute. So, sometimes it's not us choosing to go to the military. It's our situations that we're living through that push us to go to the military. And I bet he did it with honor, courage, and integrity. And he did what he had to do to support his family. And a lot of civilians say, well, you chose that life. You chose to go there. And it's your fault that you're messed up. It's your fault that you have PTSD because you chose that life. If you didn't want to come back messed up, you shouldn't have chose that life. Sometimes we don't have that choice. We have to choose what is best for our family. And really put them first. And like, and some civilians just need to realize that and understand that sometimes that is what happens, and stop blaming the person for choosing to go into the military. Period. Like, yeah, we chose to fight for your freedom. We chose to fight for you to sit here and call us stupid, um, ungrateful veterans, or whatever it is that people are saying, ungrateful veterans that y'all just join so we can get the benefits. Like, that's some BS. And veterans, civilians need to try to better understand us. And veterans need to try to better understand civilians where they're coming from, because they don't know what we've been through. So that's the only thing they know how to say at that time. And some people are just ignorant and don't know how to talk, period. So, you know, we just all need to come together and help each other. Veterans need to help civilians understand where we're coming from. Civilians need to help veterans understand where they're coming from. Like, it's just, we've gotten away from doing life together instead of having love and grace and mercy and forgiveness and understanding. We just judge. That's all we do, is judge and judge. And then sometimes that pushes veterans to lash out, and then the civilians play the victim, and really it's the veterans that are the victims. They're standing up for themselves because they know how to. And they don't take crap from anybody, because we were trained not to take crap from people when we go to war. So um, it's just, I hope that civilians watch this, and I'm not trying to bash any civilians or anything like that. I'm just trying to help y'all realize how we are and why we are like this. Because, yeah, some choose, and that's even, to me, braver, because they chose to put their life on the line for y'all to end up sitting across from the table talking crap to them for no reason, and bashing them for no reason, commenting on their post on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok for no reason. And half the time I see stuff like, well, it's because of your president. When I was in, Trump wasn't my president. It was, one point it was Obama, and before him, I believe it was Bush. So, like, the president now has no, like, dictation of what happened to me when I joined. He wasn't even the president. Like, the thought of him wasn't even thought of for him to be the president at that time. So these comments like that are just immature and childish. So we just need to come together and try to understand each other better. The next question I asked him was, well, I sent to him, and he answered, "Can you tell me about the moment you decided to serve, and what motivated you? What motivated that decision?" Bryan decided to serve after getting a pretty significant injury at a wire manufacturing company that he worked for. And they basically ignored him. So even before he was in, there's civilians and companies out there that didn't want to help him. And just because someone gets injured on the job doesn't mean you give up on them. I had my son, he was 8 months old at the time, and I realized I didn't have any direction in my life. and that if I didn't make a change, that we would have the same meaningless life that I had growing up. So that's brave, like to go in the military so you can support your family. That is bigger than any of the civilians that bash veterans. Like, some of the stuff that I see on TikTok, and it just ticks me off. But I choose the higher road and I don't comment because there's no point in commenting. I'm not going to change that person's mind. But knowing, like, he chose a better life for his family. That's why he joined. And then he came home with PTSD and anxiety and depression. Like, he made that sacrifice for his family, not even for y'all, for his family. That's on a different level. That's bravery. That's honor, commitment to his family, not even to the military, but to his family. What is a memory or experience from your service that you carry with you every day? Bryan remembers a lot of leaders abusing their power, and that happens a lot. And that that even happens in civilian life. The bosses abuse their power because they like to micromanage, or because they see everyone underneath them lower than they are, and that's just messed up. Picking on people that couldn't do anything to defend themselves. I think about this often when making decisions with his coworkers and others in any group that he's in. And that's leadership. He learned that in the military. Military is not all go kill, kill, kill. A lot of it teaches you how to be a leader, how to stand up for the little person, how to make sure that the people that are in your group, in your community, are taken care of. That is power. That is growth. And a lot of people don't learn that in the military. They say they do. They say that they're a leader, but then they come out and they're worse than when they went in. Um, so him learning that made him a better person today. Yeah, he might have anxiety, PTSD, or whatever he's going through. I don't know his whole story. He just told me a little bit of his story. So next question I had for him was, how has your military experience shaped you today, both personally and professionally? I think this is a good one because it shows how the military helps us and shapes us to be a better person than what we were before we joined. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like, sometimes we learn how not to treat people because we see how others with power and higher ranking treat other people. So we learn that's not what I want to do. That's not how I'm going to act. That's not how I'm going to lead my brothers or sisters that are under me. I'm going to lead by example. So what he says is, the military taught me a lot of useful skills that have allowed me to get the job I have today and to market myself to an extent. However, the military also gave me a deeper distrust for people, has me always second guessing people in situations because of those leaders, those higher ups that did not show him how to be a leader. They showed him how to manage people instead of leading, and that's not good because you can't manage people while you're in war. Usually those kind of people, they get scared themselves and then they just fall and freeze up and they don't know what to do in the time of crisis. So that's what is different between a leader and a manager. Is one knows how to lead, one doesn't. They just know how to boss and belittle people and tell them what to do, when to do it, how to do it. They don't know how to step up when the tough times get tough and when the crap hits the ceiling fan. That they freeze up themselves and they don't know how to lead. So next question I had for him was, what has been helpful in maintaining your mental health, and what advice would you share with others who might be struggling? Um, because every veteran has a different story. Not everyone has the same PTSD. Not everyone has the same trauma that they saw when they were in Afghanistan or in Iraq or anywhere that they were while they were deployed. They don't have the same experience. Everyone has a different experience, and everyone has a different trauma that they can help somebody else with that trauma. Like mine's different from his. His is different from the next veteran. So to me, just like Samson, he asked God to give him strength one more time. That one veteran that had that one same experience as the other veteran can be that one veteran to help them out of their darkness. You could be that one veteran that has the same experience as me, or a veteran that you know that is struggling, or a veteran that you know that hasn't said anything about them struggling, but you can feel it. You just know that they are struggling. You can be that one person. You can be that one veteran to help that other veteran. Your one experience can be the same as one other veteran. And that's all that we need to help the 22 veterans that kill themselves a day, is being that one for the other one. And then he can be that one for that other one. And just keep on going. And we can stop veteran suicide. I believe it with my whole heart that if we come together as a family, as a community, as veterans, a brotherhood, sisterhood, we can stop veteran suicide. And I don't get how this is not on every other veteran's heart. Like, I don't see how other veterans can just stand by and watch other veterans kill themselves. Maybe you aren't. Maybe you just don't know how, like, to help out. And well, I do get how people, because there's evil in the world. People are just nasty, evil people, and they just don't care about anybody else but themselves. So, and that hurts. That hurts my heart so bad because everybody matters. Everyone matters. Every single veteran, every single civilian, every single person on this planet matters. So, sorry for that rant. Let's get back to that question. What has been helpful in maintaining your mental health, and what advice would you share with others who might be struggling? He says, well, earlier on, I dealt with most things by drinking pretty heavy. And I've been there. That's what I used to use to drown myself and make myself numb. I've cut back on that drastically and now only have a drink here and there. I find my faith and church group help me to keep a positive attitude, and I also avoid certain situations to keep my peace and maintain a lower stress level. And that's power right there. To know when to get out of that situation, to know when you need to step back, go away, um, de de not de-isolate, um, just to get away from this situation and calm everything down. Calm that situation down, calm your stress down, your anxiety. Just calm down before you blow up and you do something dumb that you regret later. You won't often see me in large groups, like a concert or something in a surrounding where I can't easily leave. Um, I used to be like that. Um, I still kind of do that when we go to restaurants or we go to a thing with big groups. I'm always looking for the exit, always scoping out people, always seeing who is up to no good. Like, and then when I find a few people like that, I zone in on them. I don't lose track of them. Like, but it has gotten better, and I pray that it has gotten better for him too, because it's good to get out of isolation. It's good to get out there and meet new people and make new connections. It's okay to get out of your comfort zone, because that's when your healing starts. That's when you can say, I'm stronger. And then you can start going to more places and you can start living life again instead of being cooped up in your house and being scared of your, not scared of the people around really. It's more scared of how your anxiety is going to act up and how your body is going to tense up and freak out, and thoughts are going to start racing, and chaos is going to happen in your head, and you can't control it, and you start shaking. Me, I start shaking and my chest starts hurting, and I start having thoughts of, okay, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I got to get away. It feels like I need to scream out loud and just get it all out. Uh, that's, so I know how he feels. I know where he's coming from that point of view. And that's tough. So I just send a prayer up to him, for him, that he can overcome that and start getting out and healing from the trauma that he is going through that keeps him from getting out there. And he may never want to, and that's fine. But I'm still going to be there, like check up on him, make sure he's good, just talk to him. He's actually my next door neighbor. I can see his house right now. So, um, if you are someone, a veteran that is struggling with getting out of your comfort zone and going out into public and find healing, I pray for you too, because I've been there. And I went to a nonprofit up in Boston, and I forgot what, I think it's exposure therapy. It's where they took me to a huge crowd of people, and it was in Boston. Never been to Boston. I don't know how Boston people act. I don't know how rude they are or how nice they are or anything. Like, but most after being there for 2 weeks, mostly half of them were pretty nice. So, but they took me. It was like a food court, but it was like a fancy food court of a mall. I can't remember the mall, but it was massive. There was people all over the place. And the first day, they took me and they placed me at a chair with a few people behind me, not really that many people. Mainly all the people were in front of me, and they made me sit there and be kind of isolated by myself in that environment and work through my thoughts, work through my emotions, work through what I felt at that moment. Um, with my heart racing, my thoughts, who's gonna come up behind me, try to kill me, who's gonna come in here with a bomb or with a gun and try to shoot up the place, like thoughts like that, like just thoughts of how the terrorists act. So I think I had to do that 4 times, but every time my stress was a little bit lower. My anxiety was a little bit lower. I could sit there for a longer period of time. I think the first time it was only like 10 minutes that I had to sit there. Yeah, it was freaking, it was a long 10 minutes to say that. And I think the last time before I left to come back home, I think it was 30 minutes that I had to sit there and just, now if I was to do it, I think I would take me a book, a journal, and write down my thoughts. Just write them down and try to figure out why I was thinking like that. So it might suck, but sometimes put yourself in that situation, in those situations where you find yourself with your anxiety at the highest. Go out there, put yourself in those situations, and have the courage to do it. Have the knowledge on how to do it, and just get back. Like I said in my 2 episodes ago, I believe, get back to your core values: honor, courage, commitment, integrity, humility, bravery, whatever branch you're in, that in your core values that they go by. Like the Marines, honor, courage, commitment. Have honor in yourself to try to fix yourself. Commit to try to fix yourself. Have courage to try to fix yourself. Like, stop making excuses and sitting in your self pity and woe is me. Like, a lot of veterans, they only go to get help because they think the doctors are there because they're entitled to it. You're not entitled to no kind of doctor, like, or entitled to any kind of help. Like, they don't have, those doctors didn't have to go get their diploma or whatever it is, certification to be a doctor to help you. They chose to, and then they chose to work at the VA or those therapy clinics and stuff like that. Just like we chose to go. So we all need to work together. Like, and civilians need to try to understand us better. We need to try to understand the civilians better. Just one big circle of trying to communicate and love each other and just grow. Um, I think that's what we need to do, is grow. That's a good word for this podcast. This episode is growth. Grow. Just like Bryan did. He grew. He was drinking, numbing himself, but now he doesn't do it as often because he grew and realized, hey, this is not helping me. This is making me worse. Drugs will make it worse. Looking at porn will make it worse. Drinking will make it worse. Having anger outlashes will make it worse. Isolating yourself will make it worse. All those things will make it worse because they're temporary fixes. They only fix it for a moment, and then you have a hangover. And then you're back into the world and back into those situations that make your anxiety go up. And then you go drink again. You're like, oh, it's gone. It's not really gone. It's not gone until you freaking work on it. And you man up or woman up and say, hey, I need the help. I'm going to go get the help. I'm going to dive deep into what is causing me to have these episodes and go get the help and grow. Don't stay stuck in your darkness or that hole that you're in. Go grow. Thank y'all for watching. I am Samson. Again, I am Samson stands on verse Judges 16:28. Go look it up. I don't have it memorized yet, but it's when Samson prays to God and asks him, give me strength one last time to kill my enemies. And for us, our enemies look different. They aren't people. There are thoughts. There are our feelings and our emotions and whatever else that builds up inside of us when we have our episodes. So thank y'all for watching. I'm going to say a quick prayer before I'll close out this episode. Lord, I just pray for every veteran, for every civilian, that we just come together, and we don't want to have to pray to you, God. We don't have to do that. We just have to come together and find common ground and just want to try to help each other, understand each other, Lord. So I pray for every veteran and civilian out there that is struggling, that has trauma of their own, because even civilians have trauma that they need to work through. And I just pray for us all to come together and love one another and have grace for one another. In Jesus' name, amen.